Yes, hello tradies. Welcome to the Air Raid Siren. Sometimes Mitch and I get a little bit grumpy. Sometimes we go way off Broadway. But here is our little safe space to talk about footy that's not trade related.
I'm excited this week, and I can't believe you're going to Belfast in the week of the Tasmanian state election.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough decision for me. It was either go to Tassie and cover the election, or go to Northern Ireland and cover the Open. Tough
What's the
decision.
weather in Northern Ireland at this time of the year?
It was 25 in Belfast yesterday.
Okay.
But I think the tournament, it's 22 every day.
Oh, beautiful.
Perfect for me.
Bit of sunscreen still?
I've packed 100 plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
I'll start. Positive today. I think the AFL can cash in more around northern markets and not opening round. So cash in around what we saw last week with Gold Coast and Collingwood. Have a mini gather round or a mini opening round in Gold Coast and Queensland last week around school holidays. Get, along with Collingwood every year, to play in the middle of the July school holidays against Gold Coast and have a Thursday or Saturday night game. Get the Lions as well against a big Victorian team. Get Victorian families up there for the theme parks during the week. Cash in while everyone's in.
Well, are the theme parks still a thing?
Oh, bloody oath.
I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
Are they still popular? Okay.
How many have you been to?
All of them.
Yeah.
When I was a child.
Yeah, exactly. But take your 6 to 14-year-old kids up for the week, spend your money at the theme parks, then stay for a game of footy. If Collingwood plays, if Carlton, Essendon and Richmond, any of these big Hawthorn, big Victorian clubs play, you can get the family up there. Not all families barrack for the same team. Someone might want to go to the Friday night game for the Suns. Someone might want to go to a Saturday night game for the Lions. And then entice a club potentially to sell a game to that market as well and have maybe 3 games in the one weekend and cash in. The other part of this too, when the NRL is out of Sydney for the week of Magic Round, so they've got their own gather round for those that don't follow it closely. They play NRL Magic Round in May. Every game is played in Brisbane. So there is a week in May where there is no NRL in Sydney for the weekend. Play the Giants and the Swans as separate home games that weekend, and then entice, offer up a big check and get a Victorian club to take one of their Marvel games out of Marvel and take it to Sydney for that week and see if you can entice a mini gather round for the week in Sydney. Because don't forget, next year, North Melbourne has just got the 2 games in WA. Their 2 games in Hobart are ceasing. There will be 2 extra games at Marvel next year at the AFL's disposal to play with, because North are taking 2 extra games into Marvel. So the math suggests there would be 2 other games in that arrangement where they could have a bit of flexibility with.
I like it. The game on Friday night was everything the AFL hoped the Gold Coast would be when they launched it.
The visual, yeah. It's just
you know what I mean?
It's taken, 12 years?
Yeah,
13
it's
years.
taken a long time to get there. But to your point, like, there's that family element.
Yeah.
There's I had a couple of mates go up there as a boys' trip.
Yep.
You know, they get to
Theme parks?
they get to go to the game and then head to the Burleigh Pav after.
Top golf? They would have been top golfers, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Curto went to Top Golf. I don't think he did. But yeah, there's so many different options, which is why I think, not to turn this into a negative, but they've still got challenges with GWS, don't they? Like how they tracked that sort of trip.
Well, yeah, like, look, the Giants have made prelims and grand finals, and the crowd is still what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Gold Coast are just scratching the surface on what they can be, and I reckon their crowds will continue to grow. Look at Brisbane, right? So in the early 2000s, packed the Gabba. They were playing good footy, winning flags.
Selling out the joint.
Then they had a lull in the, 2010s,
Yep.
when
Justin Lepage, Michael Voss days. Yep.
Those days,
Yep.
they were struggling to get 25,000 to their games.
Oh, struggling to get 15 sometimes, I reckon.
Now, sellouts again because they're playing good footy. Queenslanders jump on a winning team. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
If the Suns can continue to make top 4 and push for flags, that place will be rocking. And that's back to your point with the Giants. They've been in that scenario. They've been winning games, and they're still struggling to fill it.
I like it. Yep. Go harder on the northern markets.
Go harder on the northern markets in the marquee slots. Look, the in-season tournament, I'm not dead against it, but I reckon you can have a bit more flexibility with prime-time marquee fixtures like this that could offset the need for an in-season tournament.
Yeah, but we have to change the fixture at some point. We can't keep going with the 24-week season with the
Yeah.
shocking buys in the middle of it.
I reckon I'd love to see them at the 17. Everyone plays each other once. You play a rivalry round, so you get the
Then how do you
showdowns
fill
and
out the extra
derbies.
weeks?
And then you split them into 3.
6, 6, and 6.
Yeah. And the bottom
Play for draft
6,
picks.
rather than a scenario where we've got right now where West Coast are already the wooden spooners with 6 weeks to go.
I love the idea of playing for picks.
You have a lottery. The bottom team gets the most balls, right? This is my theory. Everyone has the most. The bottom team gets the most. But you play the bottom 6 all play each other once. So it's 5 games each.
So what are you playing for?
Extra balls in the lottery pool.
Extra balls.
In the lottery pool. So if you're winning a game of, let's say there's 100 balls, you win a game, you get 5 extra balls for every game you win.
It's a lot of balls. I like it. Mine's a little bit more reflective. I don't want to be overly critical of the AFL because I think that these sort of things are not easy. And I'm not saying it's simple to be consistent.
But
Well, I'm just having some trouble recently. I'm having some trouble lining some things up. So I'm just not sure how Willpower from the Gold Coast in May last year gets 5 weeks for making it homophobic slur.
could not agree more.
And the AFL make this big sort of song and dance of we're coming down hard on this stuff, which is great. And, Finlayson got 3, so they came out and said, well, we warned you guys. We said it would be, if it happened again, we'd go harder because everyone should learn. So, Powell, you get 5, even though he's self-reported.
Yep.
And a bit over a year later, we have Jack Graham self-report. Oh, but he was contrite about it and he rang the CEO directly. So, he only gets 4. Well, what?
And it took 6 days from game day to the AFL being notified. How is that possible?
So, I've been pretty upfront about this sort of stuff when I say you either stand for something or you don't, so pick one.
Yep.
I think they took a stand last year about homophobic stuff and they made it pretty clear. Any mention of it, you're done. So, what a year later, is it like driving demerit points, like you save them up and then you got to relearn or something? So I think, if they were going to be real about it, even though he self-reported, which, ticked to Jack Graham for doing that.
But Will Powell self-reported.
That's what I'm saying. You have to give him 8, didn't you? And just say, well, it was 3 and then it was 5. And then who was the one in the VFL?
Lance
Collard. Collard got 6.
Yeah, that was a little bit different because that was multiple in one game.
Yeah, I understand that. So if you're continuing to take a stand on stuff,
Yeah.
he gets 8.
Jack Graham's in year 9. He's a leader of this footy club. It's not like he's a 15-year-old kid.
And they're educated about this in system. They're educated about it by the AFL.
Well, they say they are.
Yeah. Well, they are, aren't they? Okay, well,
No, but
might be a different conversation.
How many of those are just box-ticking exercises?
Yeah, so then there's the other thing about the threat to Michael Voss. So that fan gets 5 years for making a shocking joke, right? And by the way, well done for the AFL for coming down hard. But there's coming down hard and then there's whoa. So let me play this out a different way. So let's say, 'cause I think it was Jay Clark who broke the story. Let's say the AFL came out, right, Mitch, that day, and they said, look, we are aware of horrific language of a threatening nature that was made indirectly to an AFL senior coach. We have located the person. He is not allowed to go to football at any level for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. Let's just say he did that, right? And we've spoken to Collingwood, and Collingwood agree with us. And, if Collingwood make a grand final, this individual will not be able to attend.
Yep.
Let's just say it was that. And Andrew Dillon came and said, we want to make a really strong stance here that, yes, while it was sent to an anonymous hotline, the MCG made us aware of it immediately. We don't condone this garbage. He cannot go to football for the rest of the year. I think the majority of football fans would have gone, oh, well done.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right. What did he say? Oh, yeah, no, that's shit house. No, you don't joke about murdering people. No, it's good. He got 5 years, Mitch.
Yeah.
We're talking about 2030.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
I think that this was like this snowballed quicker than what
It got big on them.
Yeah,
It got big on
and
them.
they had to make
They had to act.
be seen to be making something.
Now, we're in the middle of another situation with Nazai Wanganeen-Miller and
Jace Burgoyne.
Sorry, the Port Adelaide player, Jace Burgoyne, were victims of racial vilification on social media. Now, for me, that sort of stuff is so heinous and so outdated. Like, how long since we moved past that utter tripe?
Yeah.
So what are those fans going to get?
I hope if it was 5 for the other one, I hope it's 10 for this.
Well, so this is the thing, and again, I'll come back to my original point. I am wary of being too critical of the AFL with this sort of stuff because you're making stuff up on the run, and that's okay, right? But once you go down a certain path, I think you have to see that path through. Mm-hmm. So they have it with the homophobic slur stuff because it was like, well, you can't go 5 for power last year and then suddenly 4. Where we go? Are you saying that homophobic slurs are now more acceptable? Mm. Or if you admit to doing it, we'll go easier on you? No. And 5 years for sending a threatening message to an anonymous hotline. Okay, so therefore the guys who send racial slurs directly to people on their social media, well, you should get 25. Because for me, that's infinitely worse than what the idiot to the Voss thing did. Like, that was a bad joke, mate.
Yeah.
And you can't joke about murdering.
No. But it wasn't direct to Vossi.
No. But so that
not saying that doesn't make it right.
None of us are saying that.
Yeah.
But he didn't send a DM to Michael Voss saying, I'm going to kill you. Right? In which case, it's, well, the police are going to handle that. That's a death threat. You can end up in court. So well done to the AFL for getting on the front foot and being strong about it and for protecting Michael Voss, who has an esteemed record both as a coach and a player.
I wouldn't say he's got an esteemed record as a coach.
Well, sorry.
I'm semantics.
Sorry. No, you're right. His reputation as a human being in our game is one of high regard.
Yeah.
So well done for that. But again, back to the original point. If you're going to stand for something, do it all the way through. Commit to it.
Just 2 more points on the power one. So it was interesting that Tony Keane, the head of integrity and security at the AFL, was the one that was the name in the statement compared to last year was Stephen Mead.
Yeah. Well, no, because it's
because Mead's now no longer in the executive.
Yes, and so integrity will fall under Tom Harley now.
Yeah,
as COO.
He's yet to arrive though. So Tony Keane was.
Yeah, but you're right. That's interesting. That's point one.
And West Coast will say behind the scenes that Powell self-reported on the day of the game, but there's no formal process to take it to the AFL, so that's why it took 6 days. Weren't we all told off the back of Willie Rioli this year, there was this big CEOs, one of the big points of the CEOs meeting was, if there is an internal issue, you must notify us, because the initial Rioli ones from last year hadn't been, right?
Yeah, we just...
Why did it take 6 days for West Coast to tell the AFL?
Great question.
Yes, there was a few hoops to jump through with Giants and everything like that. Should not have taken 6 days. And I agree with you. There is no world where Jack Graham should have got 4 instead of 5, at least.
Yeah, like, it sounds ridiculous, but it would have been better if he just got 8. Because...
we were told it was going to increase.
Well, because people would have turned around and gone, how did he get 8 for that?
Yeah.
It's like, well, Powell got 5 last year, mate.
Yeah.
Like, they have to continue to send a message.
Yeah.
Because at one point, it'll stop. Because people will learn. Like, if they'd gone down that path, fine. But now it's just like, it's become like the MRO. I'm just like, I don't know. I can't work it out either. You tell me.
Changes are coming in that space.
Just before we go, Tristan Sherry 3 weeks. Happy or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was careless.
Yeah, I think it was about right. Is that us done for the Air Raids home?
Yep.
Great. We'll see you next week.